Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us here in the Stroud Room for Fall Sports Media Day for 2013. Appreciate everybody's attendance and involvement. Obviously, we've got a lot more participants than media. That's by the nature of this. We ask everybody who's a participant to understand this is a working day for the media. We need to accommodate the media that come from Alexandria and Shreveport in almost all the cases. And they've got a lot of work to do and not a lot of time to get it done in. Also, we want to be out of the heat as quickly as we can after this for the football team, so we'll try to be as efficient as we possibly can. Fall Sports Media Day here is different than Football Media Day everywhere else because we shine the spotlight on all of our fall sports, not just football. Well, that's been the commitment we've had since even before Greg Burke became Director of Athletics, but he has certainly ramped it up as the state's longest tenured and the Southland Conference's longest tenured Director of Athletics. Has too many awards to mention, but he's got a lot of good things he wants to talk about. Our Director of Athletics, Greg Burke.
Thank you, Doug. This really is an exciting time of the year. Somebody once told me that when you use the words eager and anxious, that there's a difference. And I think I understand the difference, but I looked it up just to be sure. Anxious means you are earnestly wishing. Eager means it is marked by urgent or enthusiastic desire or interest. Someone always told me that anxious means you're a little bit more nervous, and eager means you're a little bit more excited. And as I look into our 2013 fall sports season, I think I'm a little bit of both. But football-wise, just really excited to welcome Jay Thomas back as our head football coach. And I've said this countless times, he's put together a tremendous staff. And I think that anybody in a leadership position will tell you that what is so important is the people you put around you. And he's got a great staff, great cross-section of guys, and they bring so much to the table. And really proud of these players. Got a great senior class, and looking forward to a great season. Soccer student athletes in the back, they've got a great senior class. 2 of them are here, and I just tweeted this yesterday, since I'm on the media live worldwide. At Demons Forkum is my Twitter handle, so everybody worldwide zooming in right now, feel free to jump on board. But in all seriousness, I tweeted that I think the senior leadership on that soccer team is going to make a big difference this year. Looking at our volleyball program, and just give all the credit in the world to Hugh and Steph Hernisman. This program has been around for 31 years, and success has been very, very limited. And then in a very short period of time, success has taken a leap and bound approach to the point where last year was the best year in the 31-year history of the program, and that was done with mainly a couple good upperclassmen, but 9 sophomores and some freshmen. And then as far as cross country, I'm just eager and excited and anxious that I'm not out there running in this heat like they are. So we'll leave it at that. But it's an exciting day. As Doug said, this is about the media. And as a former sports information director, I'm always remiss if I don't say to the media, appreciate you guys more than you know. You have great jobs. You do so much for us, and we always want to be here and be accessible for you. To wrap up my very brief part of the program, wanted to make a presentation. We received news earlier this summer, and I think a lot of our athletes in the room are very familiar because Mr. Burke talks about the academic progress rate with the NCAA, and they always do the release of that report about a year later. So for the academic year 2011-12, Northwestern State football had the biggest APR increase in the Southland Conference. Now that's good news. As Coach Thomas will tell you, he and I talked about the fact that the good news is you had the increase, but you don't always want to be in the position where you have to get a good increase. The key is to get that APR up there and keep it up there. But 11-12 had the #1 increase in the conference, and I've got a plaque here which was sent by the Football Championship Subdivision Athletic Directors Association, FCS ADA for short, and that's what I should have said in the first place. But this is a plaque presented to Northwestern State University in recognition of having the most improved APR score in the Southland Conference, and they do this, by the way, for every conference in the country, 2011-12. And at this time, I would like to ask our academic staff, Carrie Kroll and Keely Roddy, along with 3 football players we've identified, I think Blaine, Tucker, TJ, to come up, and we want to take a picture real quickly with this. and then move on with the program. Am I doing that right, Doug? Okay.
Coach Thomas, jump in there too. Absolutely. Need a purple shirt in there.
You get in the middle. Get in the middle because we're presenting this to you.
Oh.
Is that going to be in the way, Gary?
Yeah, it is. But wonders of sound and technology here. Thank goodness everybody flossed.
You're on, Doug.
No, you're not. A little ways to go yet. There we go. By the way, this is a cell phone. If you've got one, please put it on silent, so we can not have some bells ringing or alarm sounding during this next time that we're hearing from folks. And the first person we are going to hear from is Mike Heimerman. Leon Johnson has retired as our track and field coach, legendary figure, and Mike is steering the program as we reconfigure. Mike's been with us since he was a student athlete here back in the mid-90s. And Mike is, as you can see by his build, an avid cross-country runner. But he has spent many, many, many hours recruiting cross-country runners and setting up courses for cross-country. And he's going to give us just a brief overview of Demon and Lady Demon cross-country and other activities here this fall.
I'm going to keep this nice and short. They asked me to do that to get us caught back up since Doug likes telling jokes. Men's distance team this year will return 5 guys, led by one of the top freshmen in the conference, Mitch Landry out of Shreveport. He went to Houghton High School. We'll have on the team this year 2 freshmen, 3 sophomores, and 2 juniors, so we're fairly young. No senior leadership, as Mr. Burke was alluding to with all the other teams. Next year, I guess we'll have 2. On the women's side, it'll be way different. We graduated 5 young ladies last year, which is great, but bad. We graduated 5, but then that means we have no senior leadership. We returned 4. All 4 will be sophomores, and we added 2. So we'll be very, very young. Out of the 6 young ladies, 4 sophomores, 2 freshmen. So it'll be an exciting year. Hopefully we'll be able to build on last year's team's efforts and improve on both of those. Schedule, they put a schedule in most of y'all's packets. It's almost complete. We'll probably be adding 2 more meets to that schedule. With that, we'll have 1 home competition on October 12th. It'll be ran this year on campus instead of over at the golf course. We're going to keep it on campus. Hopefully have a few more people come out and attend it. And we'll conclude with the cross-country championships, Southland Conference Championships in Lake Charles on November 1st. And once again, we'll also be hosting the Louisiana State High School Cross-Country Championships here on the lovely Northwestern State campus, November 18th and 19th. That's a Monday and Tuesday, right before Thanksgiving, which is huge for Northwestern and the city of Natchitoches. Every high school in the state of Louisiana has an opportunity to come up here and visit our campus, and their athletes get to compete. And the economic impact that has with our city is huge. Lastly, they alluded to Coach Johnson retiring. We're going to have a retirement party for Leon on November 9th. It's the day that we host Lamar in football, the day that we beat Lamar in football, I should say. It's going to be called Lunch with Leon. It's going to be out here at the pavilion before the game. It's going to be starting, I think we said roughly around 11. More information will be on the website with that, and it'll be celebrating 31-year career here. That's a long time to be at one spot. He's done a tremendous job, and hopefully the next person can do half as good as he does. Thank you.
Along with Coach Johnson being honored at that November 9 event, he has now gone on the ballot for the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. A lot of folks on that ballot, but he's certainly a very worthy candidate. With the state cross-country championships, the Hall of Fame Museum downtown is working, and they'll all have an opportunity during their 2 days here in Natchitoches to go through that museum. We're turning to different sports now, and we have different SID contacts, and the guy who does all the publications work for us is the contact for soccer, Matt Fowler. Matt?
Hey Hey, everybody, and thanks for coming today. Next up, we have our Lady Demon Soccer head coach, George Van Linder. Coach came here last year. He revamped the offense and had tremendous defense last year. When UCA came into their game, they were the leading scoring team in the country and held them to 0. So George was at Oklahoma before he came here as an associate and at SFA before that, and he helped build a team that won a championship last year. So George, if you come on up.
Thanks, everybody. Excited to be here and speak with you guys today. We just this morning had our first practice of preseason, so it's been a little bit of a whirlwind for us. Before we started preseason this morning in the practice, one of our freshmen was out there, and she was awful excited and kept telling everybody how excited she was to get going, and you could tell it's maybe her first college preseason, so I went over to her and said, "You're excited about everything? You seem awful excited." And she said, "Yeah, I'm very excited." And I said, "Well, welcome to preseason." She goes, "Well, don't forget it's also Shark Week on the Discovery Channel." So I guess she's having a great time going on for herself right now. So I guess I know what she's doing when she's not watching film with us, which we're going to do as a team in a little bit. But again, we're excited. This morning we did our fitness test, just to kind of give you an idea of what we do. Is we had the players have to run a 300 yards, and they have to finish it in 60 seconds or less. Then we give them a minute to rest. They do it again, and then they do it again for a total of 5 times, and they have to average as close as they can to a minute or less. And our players did a great job this morning, and we're real excited about that. And so that means they've been working hard this summer, and that's important for everybody. So that was good. And then afterwards, we had our first inter-squad scrimmage, and that was the first time we got to see kind of in our head what we thought would be a great team, and then get to kind of see it on paper. So they were a little tired, obviously, and we definitely have things to work on, but we definitely liked what we saw. And then we're going to go again tonight and kind of start putting things together. A little bit about our team. We have 8 seniors this year, and that's great for us, obviously talking about the value of senior leadership, and we're excited about what they bring to the table. And then as a coaching staff, it's our second year back, so we feel like we have a good idea of what we can expect from our players, and they, of course, have good ideas of what they can expect from us. And so that in combination with our 7 new freshmen we have coming in, we feel like it's a good complement and kind of build together a good group of overall of what we think of as a good team. I'll just spend a minute here kind of talking about the different positions and kind of some of the standouts. Starting in the back, our goalkeepers. We have 3 goalkeepers, and one of the things we wanted to do when we first came here was make sure that we had the strongest group of goalkeepers in the conference. So we might not have maybe the best goalkeeper in the conference, but I think of the 3 goalkeepers we have, overall we have the strongest trio. So that's a lot of depth. Comparing it to football, it's like having great backup quarterbacks. We have 2 backup quarterbacks, if you will, in that scenario. So we're really excited about that, and we expect to continue the tradition of having strong goalkeepers here at Northwestern State. In fact, they're coached by one of our, Crystal Donaldson, who's one of our former goalkeeper here who was on the team when they went to the NCAA tournament. Defensively, that's maybe one area we're a little bit low in numbers, only because we had one player who was a freshman last year, Kim, who came in, who tore ACL, and then sure enough this spring, her first practice back, she tore her ACL again. So we're all feeling horrible for her, but she's out there helping us out. And then the one player we recruited from Louisiana we were excited about from Mandeville, she was playing in the state all-star game this year, and sure enough, she tore her ACL. So it was tough for us defensively. We're a little bit low in numbers. That's the bad news. The good news is all the old ladies, as we call them, are back there on the defense. So I think if any group can survive being a little bit low on numbers, it's our defensive line, and we're excited again about what they've done. And as mentioned, they had some great moments last year, and we think that we'll be able to build upon those this fall. In the midfield, we're really excited. We feel like we have a great group in the midfield. Those are the players that get the ball from the back and bring it forward, and just do a lot of things, the machine of the engine room, if you will, of our team. And we're really excited about that. We have some freshmen coming in who did some good things, and we have some Ashley Savona, a senior, who's received some all-conference recognition in the past and has done really well for us, and we feel like that in the midfield is going to be good. Up top in our forwards, that was the one thing we wanted to get some more goals being scored. And Yancey's our returning leading scorer, and she's going to speak in a minute. But the thing about us with our team, we always felt like is if they could shut down Yancey, or if Yancey had a rare bad day or bad moment, then they've really shut down our team. And so we feel like we're going to make Yancey a lot better by bringing other players to surround her. So not only will they score goals, but I think it'll help her and other people coming back who play up front score more goals as well. So that's the part we're really excited about and can't wait to see what happens on the field. And this morning we even saw some good glimpses of some of our freshmen creating some dangerous chances. So that was good. Our conference, one thing that's kind of unique is this Sunday, just kind of a quirk in the schedule. This Sunday we have our first and only exhibition game. We play Houston here at 7 o'clock, the University of Houston. And so that's a little bit of a challenge for us as we're kind of getting to know each other and everything. And 4 days later, we're playing our first game. But we feel like this will be a great chance for us to kind of see what we can do, get some of those ideas, and kind of work them out before we get ready for the 23rd, Friday the 23rd, when we play Texas State here. Also in our non-conference games, we're at Big 12 opponent Baylor. That was a team that reached the Elite Eight last year, but they've lost their top 4 scorers. So we feel like that'll be a good opportunity for us to kind of see what we can do against maybe a team that was last year had a lot of seniors, and we had some good moments, but not maybe the great game. But maybe we can kind of flip that around. And then we also go up to play Mississippi from the SEC. So we like that. And then, of course, we have our in-state rivals, Louisiana Lafayette and Louisiana Monroe. So our non-conference schedule, we feel like, is a great schedule for us to prepare us for the South Lane Conference. And we obviously look forward to that. This year, as we kind of mentioned a little bit, seniors has kind of been the buzzword. In our conference last year, we had a lot of teams, SFA, who won the conference championship. They had 9 or 10 seniors. Southeast Louisiana had 9 or 10 seniors. A lot of teams had a lot of senior leadership. And obviously, they're going to be a little bit younger, and we have the advantage of having a lot of senior leadership this year. So we kind of hope the tables are reversed. We're also smart enough to know that just because we have seniors on the team and they don't, doesn't mean they're going to just hand the trophy to us. So at the same time, we feel like we're working really hard. We can put some things together, and it's always going to be a battle, but we really like our opportunity in the South Lane Conference and feel like we can make a little bit more noise than we did last year. Again, this Sunday, 7 o'clock, we'll play Houston, and then and that's an exhibition game. And, of course, afterwards, our players will be glad to sign autographs and things like that and posters. All that's free, of course, and we'll move forward with that. So without any further ado, I want to introduce one of our seniors. She's from St. Catharines, Ontario, one of the better half of our twins that we have on our team, and it's Shannon Danku.
Hi, I'm Shannon Danku. I'm a redshirt junior from St. Catharines, Ontario. This morning we had our first practice, and it was really impressive when we did our fitness test. The freshmen were actually leading the pack for the first couple of runs. So normally, they don't know what they're doing, and they haven't practiced as much as we have, so that really impressed the upperclassmen. And we actually had a really good showing during the scrimmage. One of the freshmen actually scored one of the goals. So I think they definitely stepped it up. They weren't too worried about stepping on seniors' toes. So overall, looking forward to a really good season. There's a lot of high expectations because us seniors haven't been to the conference yet. So we're really just pushing to make it this year and hopefully win a championship.
I'm Nancy. I'm the senior local. George hadn't got to see some of the freshmen play because they're from Sweden, but I set up a little game before preseason so I could check out the freshmen. And they did really well, and like we were talking about them afterwards, and we said that they weren't playing like freshmen, they played like solid, upperclassmen, so that's really good, and I'm really excited because both of them are forwards, and I'm a forward, and I'm excited about some help up top. And so also, like we said, we had the fitness test today. I'm super excited. It's the last time I ever have to run it, so psyched. But it was like improved 100% from last year. So it's super awesome. I think everyone prepared over the summer. I mean, it means something to everyone. It's not just me this year. So, I mean, there's several seniors out there really busting their butts. So we're excited. Work 'em Demons.
George, ladies, thank you very much. Last year, Brittany Russ worked with the soccer team as their sports information contact. Brittany's a graduate student and did an outstanding job for us last year, and to broaden her career opportunities, we thought that involving her with Lady Demon Volleyball this year would be outstanding. So although Brittany played college soccer, quite obviously not volleyball, she'll be the volleyball contact. Brittany Russ.
Okay, next up we have fourth-year co-ed coach Hugh Hernisman. Hugh and the Lady Demons led us to one of their most successful seasons last year in 2012. Finished third in the Southland Conference, and we're looking to a really great 2013 season. So Hugh Hernisman.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me. First of all, I'd like to thank a couple people. Mike Heimerman, thank you for motivating me to get back into the weight room. Mike's not here to hear that, he's lifting already. And then George, I want to thank you as well for motivating me to have a new fitness test. So we're talking about it, and I think Jess and Stacy really liked that idea. I thought ours was a little too easy, so apparently that's a new one for us. So we'll do that on Monday. So yeah, we start Monday. All of our girls have been here, and they've been here for most of July. Real excited. We've got six freshmen to add to an experienced group now. You know, the last 2 times I've been up here, I've been talking about how we've got a young team. You know, 2 years ago our core was a bunch of freshmen, and this past year our core was a lot of sophomores, with sprinkled in with some freshmen and some upperclassmen. And this is the first time since we first arrived that I can actually talk about an upperclassmen group who gets what we do, not only on the floor and with what we do within our systems of play and all that, but more importantly what we do off the court, the way we approach our business day to day. So, excited to see where that takes us this season. Just in a little bit of, I guess, hindsight looking back, I want to put last season into perspective for us. And for a lot of people is to understand what we were able to do. RPI is the way I think everybody's familiar with how we rank schools from 1 to 330 or whatever. And I did this at our banquet, and our girls and our boosters were kind of impressed with some of the names that we were ahead of in RPI this past season. I go through the list: Washington State, Iowa, Virginia, Boston College, Wake Forest, Texas State. It's the first time we've been ahead of Texas State in forever, an old Southland member. Central Florida, West Virginia, Syracuse, SMU, Mississippi State, Villanova, Houston, Georgetown, Memphis, Southern Miss. So you go down the line, and you've got some schools that have had some impressive runs with their volleyball programs that we've been able to pass. And I think one of the things that's real important for us is to give credit where credit is due. And while we feel like we've come in here and we've been able to change some things with the program, I think more importantly is our players have worked their tails off, and they've been really, really committed to what we're doing. I think that's important to recognize. Secondly, I would like to, and I just got this news probably an hour ago or so, second straight year that we've won our Coaches Association Team Academic Award, which rewards teams with a 3.3 GPA or higher. Our GPA this past year was like a 3.4. We were a 3.49 in the fall, and every semester we had been here, we had been talking about how our GPA went up and up and up, and I knew at some point I wasn't going to be able to say that anymore. And this last semester they let us down and only had like a 3.38. So we're getting it done in the classroom as well as out on the floor. If you look at looking to next season, the biggest reason we're excited, on top of having some upperclassmen leadership, is that we've got, in our opinion, we return the 3 best. We graduated 1 player, but we returned the 3 best outside hitters between the left side and the right side in the conference, without a doubt. I think that there's probably 1 or 2 schools that can say that they can compete with Stacy DeFrancesco, Katie O'Connell, Mackenzie Neely. These are 3 extremely talented players, all conference type of players. Katie and Stacy were both recognized last year. Stacy was a first-team all-conference player, and Katie was an honorable mention player and runner-up for Freshman of the Year. I believe that this year she's going to make a jump, and I would not be surprised to see her to be a first-team player as well. Mackenzie Neely is going to make that jump this year as well. On top of that,
I think we returned the best libero in the conference, without a doubt. And Stacy's shaking her head. And anybody who has seen our matches, they've watched Keely Arneson play defense. The kid's just unbelievable. She moves. She's instinctive. She's fearless. She's got a real short memory, which, coaches can appreciate that. But the kid competes really, really hard. Probably the biggest question mark for us is going to be at the setting position. We'll have 2 new players at that position this past spring. Emily Johnson ran our team. She ran our offense, and we competed really, really well this spring. The feel on the floor was great, despite the change in the setting position. And then we also bring in a pretty talented freshman from the great state of Wisconsin. I had to reach back into some of my recruiting ties to pull this one out of 1,000 miles away. But we feel like between those 2, we're going to be pretty good in those areas. I'll tell you this: I think with our team, that position is going to be a facilitator role. It's not going to have to be a dynamic player. We've got great defense, great ball control, great talent on the pins, and then if you get into the middle for us, we've got 3 real talented players. We return our group from last year. Vanessa Coleman has been a 2-year starter for us, had back surgery in late spring, so she's going to be working through an injury and probably will be better towards the end of the season than she will at the beginning. But we were just talking. They've been doing open gyms for weeks now, and they said that yesterday was a real good day for Vanessa. So that's exciting for us because we weren't really expecting a whole lot until maybe April until October or so. Glenda Johnson, full-time starter for us last year, 6'3", makes me look small, can go up and grab the basketball rim and just stand underneath it. And she's just a physical player, very, very intimidating as a blocker. Still coming around offensively. We're working on getting her a little bit faster in transition and making her a bigger part of our offense because, if you look in the notes, her hitting efficiency was top 4 in the conference, and 2 of those players are now out of the conference. So that's somebody that we feel like if we can give her more opportunities, we'll get more points out of her, and she'll get more kills. And then Amanda Coons at that position had probably, of all of our players this spring, the best spring of all of them. Made tremendous strides, 6'2", square shoulders, big space eater. I'm sure she'd love to hear all those compliments. But as a coach, that's something that we really, really enjoy. For our schedule this season, just like we have done in the past, we're not shying away from anybody. Our players ask us to play the biggest names we can. So you'll see we've got Southern Miss on the schedule as our home opener on September 17th. But the tournaments that we travel to, we're going up to Arkansas, playing a real strong Arkansas team that was top 30 RPI last season. New Mexico, who is right around our range, and Missouri, Kansas City is a team that's made big strides over the last 2 years. Second weekend, we're at North Texas. North Texas is going to be a top 75, top 50 type of team. They have really, really added some talent in the last few years. Texas State, who's always been a very strong program, and Utah is going to be there. And then we follow that up with matches, a tournament at Baylor where we have Baylor, Colorado, and then App State. So, I feel like for our program, our goals will never change. Every year, every program, and everybody's got different players, people graduate and all that, but for us, the goal is never going to change. It's always going to be to win the Southland Conference. Is that saying I think we're going to do that? I don't know, but that's always going to be the goal for our team. They want to get to that conference tournament, and once we're there, we feel like the way we run things, we peak towards the end instead of running out of gas at the end. So we're obviously very excited. A great group of kids that represents us well on the floor, but also off the floor. Here today, we've got our lone senior, Jessica Gutierrez, is from Mandeville, Louisiana, part of our first recruiting class, and I can't believe that she's a senior now. But she's going to speak a little bit, and then I'll introduce Stacy after that.
Hi, my name is Jessica Gutierrez. During the summer, we had a lot of progress, and Dom, our strength coach, has done a tremendous job of making a great workout plan for us and getting us ready for season and all that. We started with July. All the girls came back, and we started doing open gyms, and it kind of made it easier for us to integrate the freshmen into our group and teach them a few of our techniques as they'll learn more during preseason and kind of make them know the expectations that our coaches have for us in the gym and on the court. And it's just a great experience to have all these 6 freshmen coming in and kind of lead the way, being a lone senior and having the juniors behind me and supporting us. And it's just a great team atmosphere right now, and it's looking great on the court, and expecting a great season out of all of us.
Next up is Stacy DeFrancesco, junior from the Woodlands, Texas, returning first-team all-conference player. Stacy's going to talk a little bit about this weekend and maybe some other things too. We'll see what direction she goes in this. But this weekend is one of our larger fundraisers. We see some principal people that are at our fundraiser for the weekend. We're out at the marina for the Demon Dig Fest. I believe it's the 5th year now that we've been doing this. We've done it every year since we've been here. Real good time, big fundraiser for us. Teams were full. We're still taking sponsors. We'll take them up until probably Saturday morning. But it's a real good time if you can make it out there. Free burgers, free hot dogs, free water, sodas, and that kind of stuff. But Stacy will talk a little bit about that.
Hi. Okay, so kind of what Coach Hugh and Jess said about last season. I'm really, really looking forward to this season. Every year we just keep improving and improving, so I'm really excited to see where we end up this year because, we ended up tied for 3rd in conference, and so I know that we can just finish strong this year. Talking about the Demon Dig Fest, it's on Saturday and Sunday. It's on Saturday, it should go from like 8 a.m. about 8 p.m., and then Sunday from 8 to 3. It's a lot of fun. It's a great chance to meet the players and the staff. There's free music, free food. It's at Point Place Marina. So it's just a lot of fun to be outside, hang out, watch sand volleyball. It's a great time and it's a lot of fun. So I hope to see you all out there.
Now, you could have also talked about football, but would have been here for another 20 minutes as he broke down the Packers' offense, defense, and special teams. There is no more cheesehead a guy in this area code than you Hernesman, I can assure you. Go Steelers. Sorry about that. Don't want to recall their last meeting. Well, we are joined, if he'll step a little bit in so we can all see him, Patrick Netherton of CBS Sports, I must say. The play-by-play guy of the Demon Sports Network, Tony Taglavore, who has been with us for several years and handles women's basketball play-by-play as well as being part of the football broadcast team as color analyst. And we are absent, although he's here, although when he was here sometimes he was absent, the coach of the Dig Fest champion Jackrabbits, but no longer a member of the former of the Demon broadcast team. He is stepping down after 17 years of service to Northwestern as our sideline reporter. Byron Boston, the Southland Conference Supervisor of Officials, was overjoyed to hear this. He said he was tired of Britt advising his sideline judge. But we are really going to miss Britt Britton on our broadcast team. We went a long ways to replace him. Britt is a legend at St. Mary's, where he was a great athlete in town here. We've gone to a guy who has deeper community ties than Britt. You can't get any deeper than being a direct descendant of St. Denis. Fact. Richard DeVargas, former Demon linebacker and St. Mary's outstanding football player, is going to be joining the broadcast team this year. He will be able to out-wrestle Netherton for airtime. And Taglavore, you may need to talk to A-Rod to bulk up and get in this involvement. I don't know. Anyway, we're very happy to have Richard joining us, and very appreciative of what Britt's meant to the broadcast team, let alone Northwestern, over these last 2 decades. There we go. It's certainly an honor to introduce our head football coach, Jay Thomas. What we're going to do here, and by the way, this is not only streamed live on NSUDemons.com, it'll be replayed on NSU TV throughout the rest of this month in this community. We appreciate Davey Antilli for his tremendous efforts. We also appreciate Ronette Pellegrin, who is our administrative assistant sports information, for all that she does throughout the year to help the media and to do our jobs for us. But Coach Thomas is going to make some brief remarks at this time, and also ask that his players come on up so we can kind of save a little time from the everybody getting up. If y'all will get behind Coach Thomas, and after he finishes making his introductory remarks, then we'll go player to player real quickly. Coach Thomas.
Good afternoon. Well, let me get my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather, so you're going to have to hang with me. Little sinus infection, and it's not really screaming at these guys. It's more sinus stuff, so you have to excuse me. But welcome to all the media. Appreciate you guys coming out today. And I'll tell you what is the age limit on the Dig Fest, man? I mean, can I send my daughters to come and absolutely, you know. Hey, still working on that travel volleyball team, by the way. All right, so a lot of you don't know, I got 2 girls, and they're volleyball players, and you know, unfortunately, we don't have volleyball in the local area, so we're creating a travel volleyball team. So that'll be my second job. Once I get done coaching these guys in the afternoon, I'll get to go spend 30, 40 minutes. I actually got to get certified to do that, Coach, so I may need a little help. But we're looking forward to coming and watch you guys play this year, okay? I know my girls are. Well, I tell you, it's here. It's finally here. We're excited about it. You know, we've gotten 2 days in so far. It's been really, really good. But today, Media Day, is really, it's all about these guys and putting the spotlight on these guys. These guys do all the hard work. And when we came in the spring, we came in with a new philosophy, a new plan. These guys have bought into it and really have worked hard on it, not only on the field but off the field. They're student athletes first, so the academics come first. We are preaching at the academics. You know, our academic team, Carrie, her staff, they do a tremendous job. That's a really huge honor right there and a big accomplishment, making that big a jump on the APR. So, hey, now we got to keep it going, right, men? So, you know, right now we're at a really good place with our team, and it's all about these guys. They've put the hard work into it. They've gone through the summer program, and just to tell you briefly, real quick, what it's meant to these guys. In June, we had 65 guys working out. In July, we had 85, and it's very evident that they put the time and the work into it. We came in August really in good shape. I think we had 98% of the guys all pass the conditioning test. That's phenomenal out of 95 guys coming into camp. So, and as hot as it is out there, it was very important that we had everyone here all summer training. But I'm going to start by introducing each player real quick and let them come up. And I know I had 90 seconds, so my time's up right here, guys. So it's on you now. Y'all have to bail me out with my voice. All right. First, we have senior linebacker Pat Black. He's from Jackson, Mississippi. Pat, you got the mic.
Thank you all for having us. I just want to say thank you for Coach T and all my other coaches on my staff for giving me an opportunity to play for them this year. I just want to let you all know that we are excited about this upcoming year. We have big things that'll be promised. I mean, you know, we have the big game of Southern game and then the rest of the games of the conference. Hopefully, you know, we give a big turnout because it is an in-state rival, along with McNeese, which will be traveling back down there. So just kind of, you know, we've had a long summer. We worked very hard, and, you know, we've really enjoyed the transition from coaching staff to coaching staff and Forkham Demons.
Good job, Pat. Thank you, Pat. We pat a hand there. Good job. Next on the list, we got senior offensive lineman Blaine Cole from Kilgore, Texas. Come on in here, Big Blaine.
Thanks again for everybody being here. We're excited about the season. You know, we've had a lot of guys working hard this summer. I think it's the best turnout, big guy wise, in the summer. You know, we've never had that many offensive or defensive linemen here. You know, I'm excited to drive around town and see all the season ticket signs in the yards. Makes me, feel good about the support we're receiving, and the new coaching staff is awesome. I've had a lot of people call me about practices and say, y'all look professional out there, look like a team. You can tell what's going on. So appreciate all that. Thank you.
Good job, Blaine. There we go. Good. Next, we have Leslie Deemer, senior defensive tackle from Amite, Louisiana. And, Blaine and Leslie both, we took them down to Lake Charles for the Southland Conference Media Day. Both guys represented Northwestern State unbelievably in the football program. They did an outstanding job in their interviews. But Leslie Deemer.
I'm trying to say more than 10 words. The summer went real good. We had a lot of guys up here working out. Like the other players, I enjoy working with this new coaching staff. They keep us on track. They know how to work us. We enjoy working with them. I'm really happy to play my senior year with these guys. And as far as the defensive tackles go, we brought in a lot of talented defensive tackles to go along with the veterans we have, like Deion Simon, Damon Metcalf, and we got some new ones, Isaiah Wheeler, Danny Harmon. So I'm looking forward to getting to play with those guys too, working teams.
It's kind of hard to squeeze in between those two guys. Next on the list, this guy has made some really unbelievable plays throughout his career here. He's still making them. He made some in the spring game. He's a first-class young man, everything he does. Louis Oye, wide receiver from Lafayette, Louisiana. Louis?
Thanks for having me here. I'm looking forward to this season. Very excited to play with these guys for my last year here. The new coaching staff is doing a terrific job, Very looking forward to working with this season. They've taught me a lot since the short time they've been here. And for as a receiver, we have a lot of new guys came in that I think is really going to help us out this year. It's going to make a big impact. Thank you.
All right, next, we got defensive end Keelan Johnson from Forest, Mississippi. And I tell you what, very proud of Keelan since he's been here. I mean, his total body makeup, he's really changed from a freshman to where he is. The guy is just an unbelievable worker. And, you got to give our strength staff a lot of credit for it, but this guy puts the effort into it. It's really unbelievable. So this time, Keelan, come up and say a few words, please.
How y'all doing? Try not to be, I'm too nervous up here talking in front of all y'all. I might stutter a little bit, so y'all just bear with me. Coming into camp, man, we look real good. Defensive ends we got, man, they coming along. In the spring we had Justin Evans and Leroy Armstrong. They come along a long way, and being in camp, man, it's bittersweet. All this heat bearing down on us. We can't really have fun like we want to because of this heat, but it's been a real good experience with having these new coaches, and we're gonna have a good year. Welcome Demons.
Keelan, stay up there for a second. This is the week of the PGA, one of the 4 golf majors. Roy Lane, Patrick Netherton, Jack Britton, y'all are all fine golfers. That's a state champion golfer, Mississippi State champion 2005, Keelan Johnson. So Keelan, handicap the PGA for us.
Sir?
Tell us what to expect in the PGA this weekend.
Man, I'm a Tiger Woods fan, so I'm just gonna Tiger Woods all day. He gonna win the PGA Championship. So I mean, and he my cousin, so I mean, we don't have to go along with that. Thank you, man.
Good job. Next, we have the guy that runs our offensive line. He's been very impressed with what he's done in the spring. He's had a great 2 days so far. He has to make all of our calls up front, get everybody lined up, and has to do the cadence calls a lot. But first-class young man. He's from Macon, Mississippi. He was a junior college transfer here. Warren Jones.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm really excited about this season. From the summer we got in and worked hard, and when you start in the weight room and you hit it like that, it'll turn out on the field as long as we execute and practice. Excited about these last 2 days we had. Also excited about today. Put the shoulder pads on for the first time. And we just need to get out there. Thank you.
Now, hey, the next guy I'm going to introduce, where's Ramil? You got 1 minute, all right, brother? All right, running back, senior running back, Ramil Morris from Bogalusa, Louisiana.
How y'all doing? Coach said I got a minute, so I'm going to make it short. Just to add on about what Mr. Greg Burke spoke about being really eager and stuff. You know, when Coach Peeve left, you know, I'm coming in my senior year, and I was real eager about, like, well, what the future holds for our team or whatever. And I was like, man, you know, Coach gone, we finna get a new coaching staff, and, man, the season coming up. But over the time, you know, me and Patrick Black, we was texting and calling each other, you know, when we would check the web, the NSU Demon website. And then, you know, we found out that Coach Thomas was coming back, and we got excited. And then, you know, we just thank him for bringing in the great coaching staff that he brought in. And, you know, we just look forward to great things this year. You know, I just want me and my team, you know, teammates up here, seniors, to be remembered. In order to be remembered, you got to be a champion. So I look forward for us becoming a championship team. And I really want to bring the Chief back because, you know, since I came in, I never really had a chance to see the Chief in the locker room. So look forward to it being a great game this year. Thank you.
I told you, my man's good. He can roll. All right, next, senior tight end from Lafayette, Louisiana. And, you know, I always enjoy visiting with Tucker, being a South Louisiana guy myself, you know, and, you know, he can talk the talk down there below I-10. So it's always good entertainment for us. But Mr. Tucker Nims.
I don't have as good a joke to start off with as last year, Mr. Ireland. I'm sorry. But I guess I'll just start out saying how excited I am, along with all these other seniors. You know, this is our senior year. We put a lot of hard work into this program. As a tight end group, we pretty much got the oldest group in the house. We got a lot of guys that have played a lot of snaps at this university and done a lot. And that just kind of rolls into this new offense, you know. And I was telling my dad the other day, if we're moving this fast right now when it's 110 degrees, I can't wait to see what we do on a Saturday night. But no, and the only other thing that I want to say is, you know, when a new coaching staff comes in, you hear a lot of people talk about it's a rebuilding year and this and that. But I got to tell you, we don't think that. Nobody at this university thinks that. Nobody on this coaching staff thinks that. So expect us to win a lot of games this year. Forward.
All right, another one of our big guys real quick, T-Dre, Tissy Kid player, O-line from Cedar Hills, Texas. Come on, big fella.
Thanks for having me. You know, one of the new things that we've been doing this year is having the whole team in the dorms. You know, it's great to have everybody in there as a team and really team bonding, man. But, you know, for a big guy like me to fit in one of those twin beds, man, it gets tough to kind of get a good, nice rest. But no, really, it is really great to have everybody in that dorm room and have everybody have that team bonding. Because that's the first time that we've done that since I've been here, being a senior. And, you know, like people have been saying up here, it's bittersweet to really see that and to spend time with these guys, to have that opportunity during the summer especially, to get that team chemistry going, especially with these new guys coming in, getting them acclimated and, you know, having an insight to the team. And, you know, one of the things or one of the words that you've heard a lot up here from these guys is that we're all excited. And we really are all excited. I mean, I'm ecstatic. You know, as a senior, last year, got to give it all we got. You know, this thing it's a long time coming. You know, like Tucker Nim said, you know, with the new coaching staff, people think, you know, oh, you got to have a rebuilding year. You're doing this, you're doing that. No, we have a very solid foundation we're working off of. And that's really all thanks to the coaching staff and to the staff that we've had here. We've had a lot of support. And so we're just kind of building off of that going into this year, taking that momentum, really going into this year. So we're really excited and really, really excited, especially for that new offensive scheme, huh, Coach Brown? We're ready for him, huh? So just come out and see and fork 'em demons.
Next, young man that's sacrificed a lot. He was a cornerback, played a lot of corner last year, and we needed some help in the secondary. We lost a number of quality players back on the back end. We moved him to safety. Very unselfish guy. He's taken to it like a duck to water. He's done a great job back there. But at this time, Ryan Sorrell from Franklin, Louisiana.
Thank y'all for having me. Like Coach said, I did move to safety, and I like safety, but Coach Boone and Endo, I hope you slow down today because I'm talking. Hope you let me slow down today. But yeah, we're going to have a great, with these guys, I've only been here 3 years. I came from junior college in Arkansas Baptist, and being with these guys, moved from like Deem and Tuck and Bert, they've been here like 5 years, and Keelan, they've been here 4 years. I've been here 3 years, and like they just took me in. Like when I came, they was like, man, you could play. So I was like, shit, yeah, I'm going to play with nothing. Like, and Dean got the dreads. I'm like, Dean, big, got dreads. Man, my dreads were small when I came. I'm like, I got to grow my dreads big, Dean. You know what I'm saying? But we got a great coaching staff, and I like the coaching staff. So, and that offense, man, we're going to have a pretty good offense this year. So, looking forward to a great year. Thank y'all.
All right, next we got Rob Walker, who's running back from Mamu, the big Mamu, and has done a great job. He's been very impressive, particularly in the all-season drill, spring practice, man. You know, he can hit the hole. He's got great vision. He's quick. He's got a great burst out, and once he gets into the secondary. And the biggest thing about him, man, he's got a great personality. I mean, he totally bought in to everything here at the university. But Rob Walker.
Hello. I'm very excited to be here, and thank you guys for having me. And I'm very, very happy because these guys took me in when I first came in. I transferred from Louisiana to Lafayette, and since I came in, these guys took me in like their own. I came in, man, I was nervous, shy, but these guys, man, they turned me out, and we have a great coaching staff, and my coach, Coach Foster, I mean, he always on us a lot, and I'm thankful for him, man. He get us right, and Falcon teams.
The next man I'm going to introduce here, you can see he's on crutches right now, Bert White, and we're going. Looks like we're going to get him back pretty soon. So we've got a little rehab to do. So hopefully in 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, we'll have him back up rolling. But been here, been a starter here. Very, very good player. Has a huge upside, and can't wait to get him back. Bert White.
How y'all doing today? Like my other teammates, they capitalized on. I'm very, very excited about the season and about our new coaching staff that we got. Now I'd just like to tell you guys that to be prepared for a great season and also be ready for a long season, but also a great season. With that being said, hopefully we'll be conference champs and go on to be national champions. Thank you.
All right, guys, y'all can have a seat now. Appreciate it. You did a good job, very good job. Of course, I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I didn't have a great staff, if we didn't have a great staff. And these guys make myself look good. And I'll start off real quick, introduce our special teams coordinator. He'll go a little bit into what we're doing schematically, what we're trying to get done during camp, where we are currently in camp. But I'd like to turn it over right now to Coach Shep Campbell. He's also our linebacker coach, special teams coordinator.
Appreciate you guys being here today, putting this on. It's a good deal. Like Coach said, I'm the special teams coordinator, coaching linebackers. Had a lot of new faces show up on August 3rd to report. Got a new snapper, new holder, new kicker, and typically you don't have a lot of competition amongst your deep snappers. You've got a guy, and that's your guy, and then you've got a backup that's maybe not as good, but you know, he can get you out of a jam. We're in a situation where we have two guys that can be the guy. So we've got good competition at that position, and that's a very important position on the team. Unfortunately, you may not notice him a lot until he snaps one over his head or rolls one back there and things don't work out. But the guys that we have are pushing each other at that position. Feel like we're going to be real solid with some depth. And again, most special teams plays start with a snap. So we've got to be good at that position. And our kickers, we brought some new guys, new faces on campus, and we're really excited about what they're doing. We went out there the first day, and nobody really knew who our kickers were. But after watching him kick the last couple of days, people know his name now. You know, we've got some explosion at that position, and feel like we're going to be good and sound there. Return game, we've got some guys coming back at Egan that returned some last year. I know we had one kickoff return, I believe, for a touchdown. So feel like we've got a chance to be explosion in our return games. But right now we're moving along. We're progressing. We've got a new punter, a new holder, and those guys are coming along. We're not where we want to be, but for 2 days into it, going on our third day, we've been pretty encouraged. So still a lot of room to go. Still got 2 or 3 weeks before that first game, fortunately, and you know, we're looking forward to progressing each day, but expect to be solid and sound and have a lot of big play potential on our special teams units. Thank y'all, Forkham Demons, and see you out here against Southern.
Thank you, Coach. Good job. Okay, next, I'd like to introduce our defensive coordinator, Chris Boone. And, you know, Coach Boone's come in with a very aggressive attacking style defense, basing out of a 3-4 type personnel, but we're still creating 4 down. But Coach Boone, if you come up at this time and share a little bit where we are defensively at this point.
Appreciate you guys. I tell you what, you guys get up. That's awesome, them guys standing up here speaking. Yeah, I tell you what, when you work at long hours, early in the morning, late at night, you always remember that speech and you dig down and you fight a little bit harder for guys like that. So I'm happy to be going to war with them guys. Football is a simple game on defense. You look year in, year out, you win the turnover battle, you're going to be successful. And I've told our guys on defense, I said, hey, if we're the number 1 team in the South in creating turnovers, we're going to have success. Obviously, penalties is always a key factor, but if we can be number 1 in turnovers creating and reduce our penalties, we're going to have a great year. A little bit about, you saw some of the players we're counting on, but up front we feel like we got a pretty good group of defensive line. We are going to be a multiple front, which enables us, and we're kind of blessed. We got some guys that can be a hybrid end, stand up, hand down. We are going to be a little bit multiple up front. Secondary-wise, we feel like we have the capability with what we have coming back to be multiple in the secondary to put us in position to be multiple up front. But I go back. If we need to play 1 front, 1 coverage, that's what we're going to do. If we have the capability to be multiple, we will. But we feel like we got a good group of guys. We got a long way to go. We've only been into it just in helmets for 2 days. I've been very pleased. We hadn't been able to do a whole lot. We're still putting in a lot of stuff. Got a long way to go. The kids have had a great attitude, unbelievable attitude. And I know Coach has been a part of coming in. This is my 3rd time that I've been a part of coming in with a new staff. And I have to say these young men have been unbelievable on openness, trying to adapt the scheme. And I'm speaking for defense, and I hear our offensive coaches talking about all the time how they're always bragging on guys. It's been an unbelievable experience. And glad to be here. Look forward to that first game against Missouri State, ready to load that bus and go to war with these guys, and hopefully we'll see all you guys here when we open up against Southern, Forkham Demons.
Next, I'd like to introduce our offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, Robbie Brown. And Coach Brown, we got out there the other day. I was a little concerned about him. This Louisiana heat's getting him, but he looks a lot better today. We're gonna get acclimated, get him going. If we got to get you an umbrella or something out there, we can get that done, Coach. But Coach Brown.
When Coach Thomas called me about taking this job, I was talking with Coach Manley, a guy that came over here with Coach Thomas and myself from Georgia, but he had worked in Louisiana before, and the school that I came from was 18 miles north of Florida, And so Coach Manley was telling me how hot it was in Louisiana, and I kind of laughed at him. I said, hey, man, I've been coaching 18 miles north of Florida for 4 years. I'm not worried about any heat. I am now. It got after me. It got after me real good. Coach Thomas was laughing at me last night. But anyway, hey, this is Coach Boone touched on it. Just a couple of things. Coach Thomas, you never hear Coach Thomas say I. It's always we in a group. And this has been the most amazing group, of coaches that he's put together. Just a short time that we've bonded together. The players have bought into what we want to do, both sides of the ball and special teams, and just a tribute to him and the guys that he brought in. But offensively, we try to do a couple of things, and we try to play fast. A couple of the players talked about that. We try to play with tempo. We always talk to them and try to tell them, hey, your job's to score points, and we try. That's our number one goal. We have 3 goals on our goal board, and that's score points is number one. Coach Boone touched on, and he used a word that we don't use on the offensive side of the ball. We always say we never want to give the ball up without a kick, so we don't use that ugly word that he did. But that's our number 2 goal. Never give the ball up without a kick and put the defense in a bad situation, because it's a we game. And then the third thing we do is try to win on third down. And if we do those 2 things, it'll add up to points. But from the positions that we have coming in from camp, I would think that offensive line wise, we have a lot of older guys back, and really it doesn't matter whether you run the triple option or the spread or whatever you do. You got to have a couple of things. You better have some pretty decent guys up front, and you better have a trigger man, and it doesn't matter what you run. So those offensive line guys, they've been kind of leading us out there. They led us in the summer. They had probably the highest percentage of guys here in the summer working out, which was amazing. Then out at wide out, we got a couple of guys coming back. We have some new faces, a lot of competition at that position. At tight end, we do have, like Tucker said, we got some old heads in there, some guys that have been around. That first day of the tempo, it got on them like it got on me. The heat kind of jumped on them a little bit. They had a lot better day yesterday. We do have some talent coming back at that position. And then running back, you talked with Rob Walker today. We got a couple of additions there. Ramil, today you talked with him too. There are really only a few guys, here that weren't up here today. But we have some guys coming back at that position and some experience. And then quarterback, we have 3 new faces in the room there, 3 new signees. So there's a lot of new faces on offense and a lot of old faces too. And a lot of times that meshes together pretty good. That way you can have experience, but also create the competition that we want to create at every position. And so I think that would probably be the theme. We've got some old guys, some new guys. The old guys have really accepted the new guys into the system. And, we're trying to teach them along, and that creates competition, which is what you want. You want depth and competition. So should be a lot of fun. Hopefully I'll get over this heat, and we'll be ready to roll. Enjoy it. Fork 'em Demons.
Doug, can we let these guys go get dressed, or do you need to keep them around real quick?
Let me keep them around for a little.
All right, y'all hang tight. In closing, I'd like to say it's been really a blessing to work with these young men and to watch them come as far as they've come, like I said, on and off the field. And then to have, the staff to work with, everything has really been easy. I mean, from the academics, our training room, our equipment room, everyone has really made this transition really smooth. It's a lot of hard work now. Don't get me wrong, but it really has, and it's been really great. And the camp is going really, really smooth. I've got to thank our folks over at Sodexo, over at the cafeteria. They're pumping the food out for our guys, getting snacks over, and the players hadn't gotten on to me too much about having to stay in the dorm together. But I think that's a credit to them. They're understanding where we're trying to get to with the program, and they're willing to do anything it takes to make that happen. And we're just looking forward to finishing camp, having a great camp, getting back out there this afternoon and working rep to rep and continue to get better at the little things and the fundamentals of the football game. But, you know, we're really excited about the season, got a great schedule, looking forward to going to Missouri, opening up there on a Thursday night, and then obviously getting back here for our first home game. It'll be great. It'll be a sellout with Southern Baton Rouge coming in town. And obviously everyone knows in our conference, it's a battle, week in, week out. So you got to bring your best, you got to coach your best. So we're looking forward to it, looking forward to seeing you guys all the games, not just some of the games, but all the games. Y'all have a good afternoon. Thank you very much. And fork 'em demons.
Okay, this is going to conclude the program, so to speak, but what we will do is make Coach Thomas and a few players available up here. The players who I don't ask to stay, you guys can go on and get dressed. And for the coaches and the student athletes from the other programs, I think George, they've already had practice, so they've had to go. But you, if you'd hang around for a minute, you folks would hang around for a minute, that'd be great. And let's see, T-Dre, Warren, and Ramil on offense, and Pat Black, and Keelan Johnson on defense. If you guys, or Deemer, actually, I'm sorry, Deemer. And if you guys would remain here, the rest of you go on back. Tucker, I need you to stay here as well. And the rest of you players go on back, get dressed, and we'll be out on the field in about 15 minutes to start our photographs. Thank y'all.